All right, welcome back to another editing tutorial. Today we're going to be learning about converting our images to black and white and a few ways that we can edit our contrast by making use of individual color channels. So let's jump into it. Looking at our first image right here, I'm going to convert this very green and lush and verdant photo of a waterfall into a black and white image. The first step is to go over and click on B&W, which stands for black and white. Once that's clicked, you'll notice that the image is completely desaturated of any color. If I want to change, however, imagine I wanted to change the green color and make it brighter or darker. Because this image was originally taken in color, I can still do that after the fact. The first thing you'll need to do is scroll down to your black and white panel. And I know that these leaves are nice and green, so I'm going to go to my green color channel and I'm going to drag that down just like so. I also know that green and yellow are quite close to each other on the color wheel, so I think I might tweak my yellows a little bit. Maybe I'll brighten my yellows up, just like that. Perfect. So before I made those individual color channel adjustments, this is what my image looked like. And afterward, it looks like this. Now, I think it looks a lot better with the green channels turned down because I have a greater amount of contrast between my darks and my lights. And overall, I think it's a more dynamic looking photo. Cool. So let's move on to our next image. In this one, you can see that we have more than one color. Our last image was mostly green. This one has a variety of colors. So we have a nice blue sky and blue water. We have a nice vibrant green here. Likewise, we have yellows and oranges in the lights of the buildings, and even a little speck of red right here on the water reflected from a light. So I'm going to go to the top one more time and go B&W black and white. Now we're in a desaturated image, a completely black and white image. I'm going to scroll down, and again, I'm going to play with my blue channel, my purple channel, and maybe my yellow channel. There's actually another tool that you can use though. Instead of just grabbing blue and adjusting blue alone, you can grab the bullseye lantern and then select the part of the scene that you want to change. And you'll notice as I drag it down from the sky, the computer recognizes that blue and purple are in this part of my scene. So by dragging it down, it automatically selects all the colors in that area. And again, I like the contrast that has been developed here, but I think I'm going to take my yellows. I'm just going to give them a little tweak. I'm going to take my oranges, and maybe I'll boost them up. So before I made those adjustments to the color channels, this is what my image looked like. Looked okay, a little bit flat. But after those adjustments, I have a much more contrasty image, and I think it looks a little bit better too. Same kind of thing. Let's do it one more time. Here I have a color image. Let's turn it to black and white by clicking the black and white button. And real quick, I'm going to grab the sky. I'm going to drag the sky down just a little bit. I'm going to drag the trees up, make them a little bit brighter. And then I'm going to take the roof, and I'm just going to affect that roof. And why does that work? Well, if you look, the blue sky, the teal roof, and the green forest all have different colors. Okay, the very last one is an image here of my daughter, and let's do that one more time. Notice that I have this nice vibrant yellow, I have some vibrant red, and the nice blue. I have a triadic color scheme at work here. So let's see what happens when I convert it to black and white. Now, this is an image that I think might look better in color, but for the purpose of our tutorial today, let's see what we can do to make it a little less flat when it's black and white. Scrolling down to my black and white panel, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dip my orange or my yellow down, and you can see that it's pretty easy to overdo it. When you have a very solid color, like this yellow of the slide, it's really easy to make your image look kind of cooked. I think that's about as far as I want to push it. Another thing to keep in mind is her gum boots are bright red, but other parts of the scene will also be red. For example, lips, chances are, will be affected if I grab my red channel. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take my reds, I'm going to drag it down, and you can see my boots are nice and black, but at a certain point, it starts looking kind of weird if you focus right here. You can see the overall effect might not be terribly pleasing. So generally, it's a balancing act and just looking forward and backward, making those little adjustments. And once you find something you're happy with, you can leave it at that. One thing you can do is grab your bullseye lantern and start playing with the skin tone. You can lighten it up, darken it up. Just be careful. If you push it too far one way, it'll pretty much immediately fall apart. And if you go too far the other way, it will generally fall apart. The human eye is really sensitive when it comes to looking for defects in faces. So just be gentle with your adjustments if you are shooting a picture that has a person in it. All right, that is everything for today. Thanks for watching.